And welcome back to the Fun Astrology Podcast. It's Saturday, August 10th, and I just got something really cool to tell you today that is worth checking in on this podcast on the weekend. Because we haven't had this in a while, and I just thought I would bring it out. There are, you know how I've said in the past that I kind of like to just look at the aspects and you get a quick visual, how much blue and how much red is there in the chart. I use Astro Gold. That's how the colors show up. Sometimes it's green and red, but blue for good, favorable aspects, red for challenging aspects. I got to tell you, today it is almost all blue. It is like one of these just great days. Let me just run through. Let's start up with the midheaven, okay? The midheaven is trine the big three. We've got it in a trine with Saturn at 15 degrees, South Node at 17 degrees, and Pluto at 21 degrees. And the midheaven is sitting almost in the middle of those at 20. So that catches all of that. So there's transformation around your career in a positive way. You can really spend some time this weekend kind of mulling over. You know, we talked about this yesterday with Jupiter as well. And also on Thursday it was, I think, that we talked about this. But just spend some time around, like, where could you improve from a soul-based perspective or from a directional perspective around your career. There are some insights to be had there. All right, here's another one. Let's go with Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter is now trine Venus. That's been in place. Also the sun, so that's been there, but just pointing all these great aspects out. So that's your love life, your financial life, your who you are life, your ego self, all of that is in a favorable aspect. That's shining brightly. The moon has moved now. It's in its latter 5-degree stage of Sagittarius for today. It will be crossing into Capricorn. We'll talk about that more probably tomorrow and Monday. But the moon is trine Mars today. So you have Mars at 25 degrees Leo, still in that Leo summer fire, in a favorable aspect with the moon in Sagittarius fire. So you could really just play, I guess, a couple of things. Yeah, because it's a favorable aspect, you could just kind of play with that extra juice, oomph. You might just feel better today. You might be more bold today. You might get something done today that you wouldn't have gotten done. You might move a project forward faster today that you have been putting off. It's that kind of just positive, juicy, powerful, get stuff done kind of energy. Heck, maybe with that Venus-Jupiter trine, if you're looking for a relationship, maybe you find one today. It would be that kind of thing. All right, let's keep on going. What else have we got? Just so much good stuff in this chart. Oh, my goodness. The ascendant is trine Chiron. So Chiron is that wounded healer. It's that area of our life that keeps happening that is going to teach us a lesson in this lifetime. It's like you are going to get this. Sometime it might cause pain, and Chiron is a very interesting study by itself, but that's a favorable aspect with the ascendant. So a little bit more insight, or maybe some working through some stuff in your area of that wounded healing that could open up for you in that regard, if you know what it is. And Chiron is its own study, and that might go by saying, well, I really haven't figured that out in my chart. You can do some Googling around it. Just Chiron wounded healer would be a good place to start. All right, we've got a sextile. That's another favorable aspect between the South Node. Well, really, I guess this one would catch the big three as well, and Neptune. So there's that whole dynamic that we've been talking about so much. If you've been listening to this for any length of time at all, we've been talking about the big three, Saturn, the South Node, and Pluto. And what's happening? These guys will go direct in the fall. It's an October, November thing, so we'll talk about that more as it is. Right now, they are in retrograde. But they all start moving forward, and Saturn moving faster will start to catch up with Pluto. And by January 10th of next year, Saturn and Pluto are in conjunction. That happens every almost 3 decades or so, but it's happening in Capricorn. And Pluto has not been in Capricorn since a couple of years before the birth of the United States. Was that radical transformation? Yeah. Let's go back to the previous time that happened. As we mentioned, the early 1500s. What did Columbus do in 1492? Sailed the oceans blue and Martin Luther tacked his notes onto his thesis onto the door of the Catholic Church under this same aspect. So you've got that in a powerful relationship with Neptune, which is your deep spiritual insight. OMG. Some of you will get the power of that. That just sent chills down my spine. I don't know about yours. And also, Neptune is in a trine with the North Node. So to wrap all of that together, there's just this huge energy to support you getting insight and moving in the direction of your soul's purpose. Wow, that was a lot for a Saturday. But it was just such a smiling chart that I had to mention the great, powerful energy that's there to support you. So just go out and have a great Saturday. Enjoy it. Hopefully you can connect to some of those things in your life today, maybe an area that you specifically want to work on. Go for it. And I'm going to be back with a special Jupiter Direct edition tomorrow. I will see you then. Thanks for listening. Have a great Saturday.